Hi everybody, my name is Ashlee Jensen and I am the Arion Pathways Director for Orion Care Solutions. This video is to introduce you to new employee paperwork and how to complete it. All right, so let's get started. Let's first talk about terminology. Preboarding is a term that many employers use, and preboarding is anything that happens prior to getting hired. It may include submitting documents, certificates, your diploma, any other degrees, etc. It's very important that you follow the direction of your new employer very, very well. They're going to give you a list of items of what you need to get hired. And so follow that list. If you have any questions, definitely ask your employer. The second term is onboarding. This is everything that happens after you get hired. It may include completing new hire paperwork, reviewing policies, and job-specific training. And finally, we have gross taxable wages. This is income that must be taxed after certain deductions. Examples include insurance, health savings account, individual retirement account, etc. All right, so first we have our I-9. This is employment verification. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security requires employers to complete an I-9 form for all new employees. It is comprised of 3 parts. Part 1 is what you complete. If you need a translator, then the translator is going to complete it for you. Parts 2 and 3 is the portion the employer completes. So here's what the I-9 looks like. This is part 1. This is the part that you're going to complete or that your translator will complete. The section 1, you fill out all of your personal information. You have your last name, first name, middle initial, any other last names that you've used, address, apartment number, city or town, state, zip code, date of birth, your U.S. Social Security number, email address, and telephone number. And then you're going to attest if you're a citizen, a non-citizen national, or a lawful permanent resident, or an alien authorized to work, and then complete any of the accompanying information here. And then finally, you sign and date it saying that all this information is correct. It's very, very important that you are truthful on this form. And then you mark the box that you did not use a translator. If you did use a translator, then they're going to mark the next box, and then they'll complete the translator information here. Now, this is a section that your employer is going to complete, this section. And they do so by observing or by examining some documents that they're going to request that you bring. So you can either bring one item from list A and then they're going to complete this information, or an item from list B and list C. They're also going to add your information here. And then this final part is this section, they'll complete the employer's information and sign and date it. And then this final section is for re-verification, or if you leave the company and then come back and they rehire you. So let's talk about the documents that you are required to show to demonstrate that you are legal to work in the US. So this section right here shows acceptable documentation. You can either bring one item from list A, or an item from list B, and an item from list C. So some examples of what is on this list, I'm going to give you some pretty common examples: a US passport or passport card, a permanent resident card, or an alien registration receipt card, and so on. So if you have one of these items, then that would be all that you need to bring. However, your employer may require other items that coincidentally are on this list that you might need for employment. For example, in my company, we require a driver's license if you're going to drive for our services. And it's just coincidental that it's on this list as well. So if you don't have any of these items, you can certainly look at list B and C and bring an item from each of those. The most common I see are a state driver's license and a social security card, or a state driver's license and a birth certificate. You can see that there are many other things on here that are eligible. If you have any questions on this, your employer will definitely help you with those items. The next form is your federal tax form, or the W-4. This is typically updated every year, although you only have to fill it out one time at your employment unless something changes. So I forgot to mention, with the I-9, you only have to fill it out one time at each job. Now for your tax forms, you're able to complete them again and then to change your withholdings and everything. So anyway, your W-4. This determines how much tax is withheld from your paycheck. You complete it whenever you get a new job or life-changing event. Like for example, if you get married or if you have kids, you have the option of changing the amounts on your form. These events will determine how much tax you will throughout the year. Completing the form helps to make sure you are withholding a proper amount of taxes throughout the year. So here is the W-4. You'll complete your personal information here: name, social security number, address, and the city. And then, so I'm going to make assumptions here that you're single or married filing separately. You'll mark that box, and then you'll scroll down, and you'll only complete section 2 if you have multiple jobs or your spouse works. And then you'll complete section 3 if you have any dependents. For example, I have 4 kids, and so they're my dependents. They're all under the age of 17. So I take 4 and I multiply it by 2,000, and I could put 8,000 there. If you have other dependents, like if you're taking care of an elderly parent and they're a dependent, you take the number and multiply it by 500 and then add the amount here. And then you take the totals from this box and this box and total it here. If you have other income that you need to claim or that you want taxed, then you'll put it here. If you have other deductions that you want to itemize, and that's on another page of this form, you'll add it here. And then if you have extra withholding, which if this is your only job and you're claiming single, you don't have to complete this. Chances are you won't need to complete it. And then you'll sign and date here, and then your employer will sign and date there as well. Right, let's talk about the Arizona state tax form, the A4. With the tax form, you can choose your withholding percentage. If you do not complete the form, then the company will auto-assign a 2.7% withholding. You can change the amount by submitting a new A4 to your employer. So anytime you want to change it, ask your employer for a new form and then you complete it. You can claim 0 withholding if you do not have any taxable income. If you claim 0 withholding, you may still have AZ tax liability at the time of filing your income tax. It's recommended that you change your withholding by updating your A4. So here's what the A4 looks like. You'll complete your personal information here, and then check box 1 and mark what percentage of withholding from your gross taxable wages you want marked. So again, 2.7% is the auto default if you don't complete this form. Check this box and then add an amount if you want anything additional withheld from your check. If you do not have any taxable income for the state of Arizona, you can mark 0. And then you sign and date it. That's it for my presentation. I'm excited for you to get your first or second job, and good luck with everything.